The email from Ancestry.com says I have a close family match I'd never met. That's when I realize my daughter has just destroyed her own world. I'm staring at my phone at 2:13 in the morning. The notification woke me up, that bright blue ping cutting through the dark bedroom. Patricia's still asleep next to me, her breathing steady and peaceful. I've been watching her sleep for 23 years. Tonight, I'm watching a stranger. The email isn't addressed to me. It's Mandy's account, but she set up alerts on my phone when she first ordered the kit. "Dad, you're better at checking email," she'd said, laughing. "I'll forget to look." I scroll down. The interface is clean, efficient, designed to make genealogical mysteries feel like Christmas morning. But there's nothing festive about what I'm reading. Close family match. Stephen Graves, predicted relationship, uncle, half-uncle, or first cousin. Shared DNA, 1,247 Ciesenauers across 42 segments. I click the name, Stephen Graves, my wife's childhood friend. The bedroom suddenly feels smaller. I can hear the ceiling fan whirring above us, that same rhythmic squeak it's had for 5 years. I keep meaning to oil it. Patricia stirs beside me, her hand reaching across the sheet, searching for mine in her sleep. I don't take it. I get out of bed slowly, carefully. The floor is cold under my bare feet. I walk downstairs, my phone screen lighting the way, and sit at the kitchen table in the dark. I read the email again, and again. And then I start doing math I don't want to do. Mandy is 18. Stephen moved back to town 5 years ago. I remember because Patricia was so happy to reconnect with an old friend. "Stephen's back," she'd said over dinner one night. "He's managing the new bank branch. Isn't that wonderful?" But Mandy was born 18 years ago, before Stephen supposedly came back, before he supposedly disappeared after college. I opened Facebook. Stephen Graves, Pinewood Bank, lives in Pinewood, Tennessee. I scroll through his photos. There he is at community events, at the Rotary Club, at our church fundraiser last spring. And there, I stop scrolling, there he is in a photo from 4 years ago, standing next to Patricia at the school's holiday party. Her hand is on his arm. They're both smiling. I look at the timestamp. 4 years ago. Not 5. Not when he just moved back. My hands are shaking. I set the phone down and press my palms flat against the table. The wood is smooth, cool. I built this table 15 years ago in my workshop. Sanded it by hand. Patricia picked the stain color. Honey oak, warm and inviting. We've had 1,000 meals here. Birthday cakes, Thanksgiving dinners. Homework sprawled across the surface while I helped Mandy with algebra. I pick up the phone again. I open Patricia's Facebook profile. I scroll back and back and back. There. 7 years ago. A photo of Patricia, me, Mandy, she's maybe 11, and Stephen. We're at the 4th of July parade. His arm is around Mandy's shoulders. She's holding cotton candy, grinning at the camera. The caption reads, "Family Day with our favorite people. Our favorite people." I do the math again. 7 years ago means Stephen was here, in Pinewood. 2 years before, Patricia told me he'd moved back. I click through more photos. 9 years ago, Stephen at Mandy's elementary school talent show. 11 years ago, Stephen holding baby Mandy at a church picnic. 13 years ago, I stop. I can't breathe right. 13 years ago, Patricia pregnant, glowing, her hand on her belly, and Stephen in the background of the photo, standing by the refreshment table at her baby shower, smiling at her. Not at the camera, at her. I set the phone down before I throw it. The house is completely silent except for that ceiling fan upstairs, that squeak, that rhythm, everything in its place, everything normal, everything a lie. I click the name, Stephen Graves, my wife's childhood friend. We were high school sweethearts. That's what everyone says when they talk about me and Patricia. "Oh, Richard and Patricia, high school sweethearts. Isn't that beautiful?" The hardware store customers say it. The church ladies say it. Even the kids at Mandy's school used to say it when they'd see us together at parent-teacher conferences. "You guys are like relationship goals," one of Mandy's friends told us once. Patricia laughed and squeezed my hand. We met sophomore year. I was the guy who could fix anything. Shop class, auto club, the kid teachers called when the stage lights went out before the school play. Patricia was the girl everyone loved. Smart, kind, the one who organized coat drives and volunteered at the elementary school on weekends. She wanted to be a counselor. I want to help families, she told me on our third date. We were 17. We got married right after college. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. We couldn't afford anything fancy, but Patricia didn't care. I just want to marry you, she said. Everything else is extra. We have a wedding photo on the mantle. 8x10, white frame. Patricia in her mother's altered wedding dress. Me in a rented tux that was slightly too big. We're laughing in the photo. Someone had just made a joke, I can't remember what. Everyone we loved was there. I walk to the mantle now, in the dark, and pick up the photo. I turn on the lamp, hold the frame close, and there, in the third row, slightly out of focus but definitely there, Stephen. He's wearing a gray suit. His hands are in his pockets. He's looking at Patricia, not at the camera, at Patricia, and he's smiling. Patricia always said Stephen disappeared after college, moved away for some job opportunity, lost touch. I haven't talked to him in years, she told me once when his name came up. I wonder what he's doing now. But his name was on our wedding guest list. I was the one who addressed the invitations. Patricia dictated the names. I remember her saying, Stephen Graves. He was such a good friend in high school. Was. Past tense. That's what she said. But he's in our wedding photo. Watching her marry me. I set the frame down carefully. My hands are steadier now. There's a strange calm settling over me, the kind that comes right before something breaks. I've felt this before. Once when I was 19 and my dad died. Once when the hardware store almost went under in 2008. That moment right before the devastation hits, where everything gets very quiet and very clear. I walk back upstairs. Patricia's still asleep. The clock reads 4:47 a.m. I lie back down next to her, on top of the covers, still dressed in my t-shirt and boxers. I stare at the ceiling, at that squeaking fan. And I wait for morning. Patricia always said Stephen disappeared after college, but his name was on our wedding guest list. Mandy graduates on a Saturday in May. The ceremony is long, hot, filled with speeches about futures and dreams and potential. I sit between Patricia and my brother Tom, watching our daughter walk across that stage in her blue cap and gown. When they call her name, Amanda Rose Cooper, I stand up and cheer. Tom wolf whistles. Patricia cries happy tears and grips my arm. That's our girl, she whispers. Our girl. I look at Mandy's face, flushed with pride and relief, her diploma in hand. She has Patricia's smile, Patricia's eyes, Patricia's way of tilting her head when she's thinking. I've never questioned it. Why would I? Afterwards, we host a party in our backyard. Nothing fancy. Burgers on the grill, a sheet cake from the grocery store bakery, folding tables covered with plastic tablecloths. But the yard is full. Neighbors, church friends, Mandy's classmates. Tom brought his kids. Mrs. Henderson from next door made her famous potato salad. Mandy is radiant. She's wearing a yellow sundress, her hair pulled back, moving through the crowd, accepting hugs and congratulations. She's been accepted to State University, pre-med. She wants to be a pediatrician. Just like you wanted to help people, I tell Patricia, watching our daughter. She's better than me, Patricia says. She's smiling, but there's something in her voice, something I can't identify. She's going to do amazing things. Stephen arrives around 3 o'clock. He's carrying a wrapped gift and a card. He finds Mandy immediately, pulls her into a hug that lifts her off her feet. There's my brilliant goddaughter, he says. Goddaughter. That's what he calls her. Even though we never had an official christening, never named godparents. It's just a term of endearment. That's what I always thought. I watch them from across the yard. Stephen hands her the gift. She opens it right there. It's a DNA ancestry kit. The box is colorful, promising connections to distant relatives, insights into ethnic heritage, family trees waiting to be discovered. Oh my God, I've been wanting to try one of these, Mandy squeals. She hugs Stephen again. Uncle Stephen, this is perfect. I did mine last year, Stephen says. Found out I'm 23% Irish. Explains the drinking tolerance. Everyone laughs. Patricia joins them, looping her arm through Stephen's. They look comfortable together, natural, the way old friends do. You should do one too, Patricia, Stephen says. Could be fun. Maybe, Patricia says. But she's not looking at him. She's looking at Mandy, at the box in her hands, and for just a second, Less than a second, her smile falters. Then it's back, bright and warm and perfectly Patricia. Later, after most of the guests have left, Mandy sits at the patio table with the DNA kit. She reads the instructions aloud to me while I'm cleaning the grill. You just spit in the tube, seal it up, and mail it in. Results in 6 to 8 weeks. Dad, this is so cool. I can find out where our family comes from. Maybe we have relatives we don't know about. Maybe, I say. I scrape char off the grill grates. Could be interesting. You and Mom should do it too, Mandy says. She's already filling out the registration form online, entering her information into their website. We could compare results, see what we all share. Sure, honey, maybe for Christmas. She spits into the tube. It takes her 3 tries. The instructions say, you need a lot of saliva. She laughs about it, seals the tube, puts it in the prepaid envelope. I'll mail it tomorrow on my way to work, she says. She's been working part-time at the ice cream shop downtown, saving money for college. I watch her seal the envelope, watch her write her name in the return address corner, watch her stack it with the other mail on the kitchen counter, ready to go out. And I feel it. That gut feeling. That whisper in the back of your mind that says something's wrong, something's off, but you can't name it, so you ignore it. I ignore it. If you've ever ignored a gut feeling that turned out right, you know what I mean. Just leave a comment if this hits close. Mandy seals the tube, mails it, and starts the countdown to our family's destruction. The email comes 3 weeks later, not 6 to 8 weeks like they promised. 3 weeks. It's Monday. I'm at the hardware store, helping a customer find the right size bolt for his lawnmower repair, when my phone pings. I ignore it, then it pings again, and again. The customer leaves. I check my phone. 3 emails from Ancestry.com, all marked urgent, all addressed to Mandy's account. Your DNA results are ready. You have new DNA matches. Close family match found. View. Now I'm not supposed to open them. They're Mandy's. But she set up the alerts on my phone, and the preview text is visible right there on my lock screen. Close. Family. Match Stephen Graves. My finger hovers over the screen. The store is empty. It's 2 in the afternoon on a Monday, the dead zone between lunch and when people get off work. The fluorescent lights hum overhead. A customer left their coffee cup on the counter. I can smell it, dark roast, going cold. I open the email. The DNA match interface loads. It's designed to be exciting, encouraging, bright colors, cheerful fonts. Congratulations! You've matched with a close relative, Stephen Graves. Relationship, uncle, half-uncle, or first cousin. Shared, DNA, 1/247 centimorgans. There's a button that says, learn more about this relationship. I click it, a chart appears. It shows the ranges of shared DNA for different relationships. A parent equals per child, 3,400, 3,700 scissors. Full sibling, 2,200, 3,200 Samuimar, grandparent, aunt, uncle. 1,300, 2,300 fiam, half sibling, half aunt, half uncle. 1,160, 2,30 members. First cousin, 1,225 members. Stephen's number falls right into the half-uncle or grandparent range. But Stephen isn't Mandy's grandparent. He's 43 years old, same age as Patricia. Which means the algorithm thinks Stephen is Mandy's half-uncle, which would make Stephen's sibling Mandy's biological parent. Stephen doesn't have a sister. My throat is tight. I set the phone down on the counter and walk to the back office. I sit in my desk chair, the old one that squeaks when you lean back, and I stare at the wall, at the calendar, at the photo of Mandy I keep tacked to the bulletin board. She's maybe 7 in the picture, missing her front teeth, holding up a fish she caught on our camping trip. I pick up my phone again. I go to Facebook. I search for Stephen Graves. I find his profile. I scroll through his friend list. There. Melissa Graves. Profile says she's a student at University of Virginia. Her profile photo shows her holding a tennis racket. Her banner photo is her with her family, and the caption says, Family Weekend with Mom, Dad, and Uncle Stephen. Uncle Stephen. I click on Melissa's profile. It's mostly private, but her About section is public. It lists her relatives, Robert Graves, father, Jennifer Graves, mother, Stephen Graves, uncle. I go back to the Ancestry match page. I click on Melissa's profile there. She's also taken the test. I can see the match between her and Mandy. Melissa Graves relationship. First cousin. Shared DNA, 894 cm. First cousin, which means their parents are siblings. Stephen is Melissa's uncle, which means Stephen and Melissa's parent are siblings, which means if Mandy matches with Melissa as a first cousin. I do the math I don't want to do, the math that's been sitting in my stomach like a stone since I first saw Stephen's name. Mandy is 18 years old, born January 14th, 2007. Patricia and I had been married for 3 years. We were trying for a baby. It took us a year. I remember Patricia crying every month when her period came. I remember holding her, promising we'd keep trying, that it would happen, and then it did. She came home with the test in her hand, tears streaming down her face, laughing and crying at the same time. "We're pregnant," she said. "Richard, we're going to have a baby." I remember the date she told me, April 15, 2006, tax day. I joked that our baby was going to be a write-off. She laughed. I get my phone calculator out. I count backwards from January 14th, 2007. 40 weeks. 40 weeks is 280 days. 280 days before January 14th in 2007 is April 18th, 2006, 3 days after she told me she was pregnant, which means she conceived around early April 2006. I open Facebook again. I go to Patricia's profile. I scroll back to 2006. She doesn't have many posts from that far back. Facebook was newer then. People didn't post as much. But there's one from March 2006, a photo, Patricia and 3 of her girlfriends at a restaurant. The caption reads, "Girls' weekend in Nashville. Needed this break. Nashville. 3 hours away." I remember this trip. She was gone for a long weekend, Friday through Monday. She came home tired but happy, relaxed. I was glad. She'd been stressed about her new job at the elementary school, stressed about us trying for a baby. I stare at the photo. Zoom in. There in the background, blurry but visible, is a man at the bar. Dark hair, gray shirt. I can't tell if it's Stephen. The resolution is too poor, but my hands are shaking again. I close Facebook. I go back to the ancestry matches. I read through Stephen's public family tree. He's filled it out extensively, going back 4 generations. His parents, his brother Robert, Melissa's father, grandparents, great-grandparents, and then I see it. A note he added to his own profile, just a personal detail people sometimes share. Lived in Nashville, TN 2004-2008. Banking career, moved to Atlanta 2008. Nashville 2004 to 2008. He was in Nashville in April 2006 when Patricia had her girls' weekend. He was in Nashville when she conceived Mandy. The bell above the store door chimes. A customer walks in. I hear them call out, "Hello, anyone here?" I stand up. I smooth down my shirt. I walk back out to the counter. "Sorry about that," I say. My voice sounds normal, calm. "How can I help you?" The customer needs advice on deck sealant. I walk them through the options, explain application techniques, ring them up, thank them for their business, and all the while, I'm doing the math. Over and over and over. I do the math. 19 years. Stephen moved back 5 years ago, but Mandy was born 19 years ago. I don't go home right away after closing the store. I sit in my truck in the parking lot. The sun is setting, painting the sky orange and pink. Beautiful. Patricia would take a photo if she were here. She loves sunsets. I pull out my phone. I open Ancestry.com again. This time, I really look. I examine the shared DNA segments between Mandy and Stephen. The chromosome browser shows exactly where their DNA matches, long stretches of shared genetic material across multiple chromosomes. It's not a mistake. It's not a glitch. I Google, "Can DNA tests be wrong?" I fall down a rabbit hole of articles about accuracy rates, false positives, testing errors. But everything I read says the same thing. At this level of shared DNA, the relationship is clear. The margin of error is minimal. 1,247 centimorgans, uncle or half-uncle. I think about calling Tom. My brother would know what to do. He's always been the level-headed one, the one who thinks before he acts. But what would I even say? "Hey Tom, I think my wife cheated on me 19 years ago and our daughter isn't mine." I can't say it out loud, not yet. I drive home. It's almost 8. Patricia's car is in the driveway. The kitchen light is on. Through the window I can see her moving around, probably making dinner. She's wearing her blue cardigan, the one I bought her for Christmas 2 years ago. I sit in the truck. I watch her through the window. She's stirring something on the stove. She laughs, must be talking on the phone. Her face is animated, happy. She sets the spoon down and picks up her wine glass, takes a sip, stirs again. She's beautiful. That's what I thought the first time I saw her, sophomore year, in the cafeteria. She was volunteering at the bake sale table, and she smiled at me, and I thought, I'm going to marry that girl. And I did. I get out of the truck, I walk up the path, I open the front door. Hey, honey, Patricia calls from the kitchen. You're late. Everything okay? Yeah, I say. Customer came in right as I was closing. Well, dinner's almost ready. Mandy's at work until 9, so it's just us. I made that pasta you like. I walk into the kitchen. She's at the stove, sauce simmering. She turns to smile at me, and I see it, really see it, for the first time. The way her smile doesn't quite reach her eyes. The way she glances at her phone on the counter. The way her hand trembles, just slightly, as she sets down the spoon. She knows something, or she suspects something. How was your day? I ask. I lean against the counter, casual. Good, busy. The end-of-year testing has parents stressed out. I did 3 crisis counseling sessions today. She's talking fast, filling the silence. How was the store? Slow, but I helped old Mr. Peterson fix his riding mower. He brought me corn muffins as payment. Now that's sweet. She drains the pasta. Steam rises up, fogging her glasses. She takes them off, wipes them on her cardigan. I watch her. I'm looking for signs, guilt, fear, something. But all I see is my wife of 23 years making dinner, telling me about her day. Patricia, I say. She looks up. I almost ask. The question is right there, on my tongue. Is Mandy mine? But something stops me. Some instinct, some sense that once I ask this question, I can never take it back. The words will be out there, and everything will change. Nothing, I say. Just, I love you. Her face softens. I love you too. She comes over and kisses me. Her lips are soft, familiar. She tastes like the wine she's been drinking. Let's eat. We sit down at the honey oak table I built. She serves the pasta. We eat. We talk about Mandy's upcoming orientation at university, about whether we should repaint the guest room, about how Mrs. Henderson's garden is doing. We talk about everything except what I know, except what I'm almost sure I know. After dinner, after Patricia goes upstairs to take a bath, I go to our home office. I sit at the computer. I create my own Ancestry.com account. I order my own DNA test kit. Estimated delivery, 3 to 5 business days. Results, 6 to 8 weeks after sample received, but I can't wait 6 to 8 weeks. I need to know now. I Google paternity testing near me. 3 clinics within 20 miles. One offers expedited processing, results in 24 to 48 hours. Costs more, but I don't care. I'll go tomorrow, before work. I'll bring Mandy with me. Tell her I want us to do a health screening together, something my doctor recommended. She won't question it. She trusts me, because I'm her father, aren't I? Upstairs I can hear the bathwater running, Patricia humming. The sound carries through the old house, through the vents and walls. She's humming a song I don't recognize. Or maybe I do, and I just never paid attention before. I close the laptop. I sit in the dark office, and I wait for tomorrow, and I prepare for the answer I already know. I don't sleep that night. Patricia falls asleep around 11, curled on her side, her breathing evening out. I lie on my back, watching the ceiling fan spin. That squeak. Round and round. At midnight, I get up. I go downstairs. I pour myself a whiskey, something I rarely do. I sit at the kitchen table in the dark. Patricia's purse is on the counter. Her phone is charging next to it. The screen lights up occasionally. Text notifications. I can see the previews from here. Night Babe. The sender just shows as SS Steven. I stand up. I walk over to the counter. I pick up her phone. It's locked, but I know her passcode. It's Mandy's birthday. 0114. I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't. But my fingers are already typing the numbers. The phone unlocks. The text is from Stephen Graves. The preview shows more now. Night Babe. Sweet dreams. Love you. I scroll up. There are hundreds of messages, thousands, going back months, years. Miss you today. Can't wait to see you. When can you get away? Last night was perfect. Thinking about you? I scroll faster. My hands are shaking so hard I almost drop the phone. I go back further. Years. The messages go back years. There's a photo. Patricia sent it 3 weeks ago. It's her in a hotel bathroom mirror. She's smiling, wearing a robe. The caption says, "Wish you were here." Steven's response, "Next time. Love you more than anything." I put the phone down. I step back. My hip hits the counter edge, hard enough to bruise. I don't feel it. I walk to the cabinet under the sink. I pull out the trash can. I dig through coffee grounds and dinner scraps until I find what I'm looking for, a crumpled receipt from last week. Hampton Inn, Nashville, one night. Patricia told me she was at a school conference. I put the receipt on the counter next to her phone. Then I walk upstairs. I stand in the bedroom doorway. Patricia is still asleep, peaceful, one hand tucked under her cheek. "Patricia," I say, my voice is calm, steady. "Wake up." She stirs. Wake up. I need to talk to you." She opens her eyes, blinks. "Richard, what time is it?" "Doesn't matter. Sit up." Something in my voice makes her obey. She sits up, pulling the blanket around her shoulders. "What's wrong? You're scaring me." "When did Stephen move back to town?" She goes very still. "What?" "Stephen Graves, your childhood friend. When did he move back to Pinewood?" 5 years ago. You know that. He started managing the bank." "No, I want the truth. When did Stephen really come back?" Her face changes, closes down. "Richard, why are you asking me this at midnight? Did something happen?" "Mandy's DNA test came back." Patricia's face goes white, actually white, like all the blood drains out of it. "And," she whispers, "she matched with Stephen, as an uncle, which means Stephen is biologically related to her parent." I step into the room. Stephen doesn't have a sister, Patricia, only a brother, which means the algorithm thinks Stephen is related to either me or you. That's DNA tests make mistakes. I read about that. False positives. At 1,247 centimorgans, no mistakes at that level. She's shaking her head. "Richard, you're not making sense. Stephen is an old friend. Of course there might be some distant genetic connection. We're all related if you go back far enough. Stop lying." My voice is loud. Too loud. But I can't help it. 23 years of trust, of believing, of building a life together, and it's crumbling, and she's still lying. "I saw your phone," I say, "the texts. Night babe, love you." "The photo you sent from the hotel. The hotel you said was a school conference." Patricia starts crying, not sobbing, just silent tears running down her face. "Richard, tell me the truth. Is Mandy mine?" She doesn't answer. "Patricia, tell me the truth. Is Mandy mine?" "I don't know," she whispers. The words hit like a fist. I actually stagger back a step. "You don't know. It was one time, right when we were trying. And then I got pregnant, and I was sure, you're her father, Richard. You have to be. You're her father. One time. You're telling me it was one time. Yes, I swear. It was a mistake. A stupid, terrible mistake. Stephen and I, we were together in high school before you and I got serious. And he came back for a visit and we had too much to drink and... When? What? When did this happen? What year?" She hesitates. 2006. April. "But Richard, listen to me. April 2006, your girls' weekend in Nashville." She closes her eyes. Fresh tears spill out. "So not one time, a whole weekend, a trip you planned. While I was home, waiting for you to come back, thinking you were relaxing with your girlfriends, you were with Stephen. It wasn't like that. And then you came home and let me think Mandy was mine. For 18 years, you let me raise her, love her, be her father, and you never told me. You are her father." Patricia is sobbing now, reaching for me. "Richard, biology doesn't matter. You're the one who raised her. You're the one who... Get a paternity test." My voice is dead now. Flat. "Tomorrow, you, me, and Mandy, we're getting a paternity test. And if it comes back a cent, then we're done. Do you understand me? Done." Patricia is shaking her head, crying harder. Please don't do this. Please. Think about Mandy. Think about what this will do to her. What this will do to her? I'm not the one who lied. I'm not the one who cheated. I'm not the one who's been texting "I love you" to another man for God knows how long. It's not what you think. Prove me wrong then. I step closer to the bed. Get the test. Prove that I'm her father. Because right now, all the evidence says I'm not. Her silence is the answer. She doesn't say "you are." She doesn't say "the test will prove it." She just sits there crying, her hands twisted in the blanket. Get a paternity test then. Prove me wrong. I turn and walk out of the room. I go downstairs. I grab my truck keys. I leave. I drive with no destination. End up at the all-night diner on Highway 42. Sit in a booth with burnt coffee and try to figure out who I am if I'm not Mandy's father. The waitress asks if I'm okay. I tell her I'm fine. She doesn't believe me, brings me pie anyway. On the house, she says, "You look like you need it." I don't eat the pie. I just sit there until dawn breaks, and I have to go home and face what comes next. The lab is in a strip mall between a nail salon and a tax preparation office. Clinical DNA testing services. The sign is small, discreet. People don't want to advertise why they're here. I bring Mandy on Tuesday morning. I told her I wanted us both to get a general health screening, something my doctor recommended. Family history, genetic predispositions, that sort of thing. She believed me. Why wouldn't she? I've never lied to her. Patricia didn't come. She's at home, waiting. She knows what this test will say. The technician is a woman in her 50s with kind eyes and efficient hands. She swabs the inside of Mandy's cheek first. "This won't hurt a bit, sweetie." Then mine. The swab tastes like nothing, feels like nothing. Such a small thing to destroy a life. Results in 24 to 48 hours, the technician says. She labels the samples, files paperwork, processes my credit card. $400 for expedited service. I would have paid $4,000. $40,000. Mandy chatters on the drive to her ice cream shop job. She's excited about college orientation next month. She's talking about roommate assignments and class schedules and whether she should join a sorority. "What do you think, Dad? Would I be good in a sorority?" "You'd be good at anything," I say. My voice sounds normal. I'm getting good at that. Sounding normal while my world ends. She kisses my cheek before getting out of the truck. "Thanks for the health checkup thing. Mom worries too much about family medical history." Mom, not Patricia, Mom. I watch her walk into the ice cream shop, her ponytail swinging. She turns at the door and waves. I wave back. And I wonder if I'll still be Dad in 48 hours. The email comes Wednesday evening, 31 hours after the test. I'm at the store, restocking drill bits, when my phone buzzes. "Your test results are now available. Please log into your secure patient portal to view." My hands stop working. A drill bit falls, clatters on the concrete floor. I leave it there. I go to the back office, close the door, sit down at my desk. The computer screen is dusty. I wipe it with my sleeve. My hands are shaking so badly it takes 3 tries to type the password. The portal loads. There's a PDF waiting. Paternity test results. Cooper, Richard and Cooper, Amanda. I click it. The document is official, clinical, formatted like a legal brief. There are numbers and charts and genetic markers. But I skip all that. I go straight to the bottom of page 2. Conclusion. Based on genetic analysis of 16 STR markers, the alleged father, Richard Cooper, is excluded as the biological father of the child, Amanda Cooper. Probability of paternity, 0.00%, 0.00%. The words swim. I read them again. The document has 37 pages of technical data, but all of it says the same thing. Not mine. She's not mine. 18 years of bedtime stories, birthday parties, teaching her to ride a bike, holding her when she was scared during thunderstorms, walking her into kindergarten, helping with homework, cheering at soccer games, dance recitals, first day of high school, prom, graduation, 0%. I print the report, all 37 pages. The printer is old, loud, takes forever. Each page that comes out feels like another layer of my life being peeled away. When it's done, I stack the pages carefully, staple them, put them in a manila folder. Then I close the store early, flip the sign to closed, lock the door. If you've ever had a document change your entire life in one sentence, drop a comment. I need to know I'm not alone in this. Probability of paternity, 0.0%. 18 years of bedtime stories, birthday parties, late-night ER visits, 0%. I don't go home, not yet. I drive to Tom's house instead. He's in his garage, working on his boat. He sees my face and immediately sets down his tools. What happened? I hand him the folder. He reads. His face goes pale. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Does Patricia know? She knew. Before the test, she knew. Tom sits down on his workbench. Stephen Graves, the bank guy. Her high school boyfriend. He was at our wedding, Tom, in the photos. I never noticed him. What are you gonna do? I don't know. I lean against his truck. Mandy doesn't know yet. Patricia wants to tell her herself, to prepare her. But I think she just wants to spin the story first. Make me the villain. You're not the villain here. Try telling that to everyone else. Small town, Tom. You know how this works. Patricia's the beloved school counselor. I'm just the hardware store guy. Who do you think they'll believe? Tom doesn't answer because we both know the truth. I need to find evidence, I say. Real evidence, not just DNA tests that Patricia can claim are mistakes. I need to prove the affair never stopped, that it wasn't one time, like she claims. Where would you even look? I think about Patricia's phone, the texts, the hotel receipt. Our house, her office at school. I don't know, but it's there, somewhere. Richard, Tom stands up. Be careful, document everything, get a lawyer, don't do anything stupid. Too late for that, I already married her. It's a joke, but neither of us laughs. I wait until Thursday night. Patricia is at a school board meeting. She texted me earlier, said she'd be home late. Mandy is working the closing shift at the ice cream shop. The house is empty, silent except for that ceiling fan upstairs. I start in our bedroom. I go through Patricia's dresser drawers systematically. Clothes, jewelry, old receipts, nothing. Her nightstand drawer has romance novels, reading glasses, hand lotion, normal things. I move to the closet, check coat pockets, jacket pockets, purses she hasn't used in years. I find old grocery lists, dried out pens, crumpled Kleenex. Nothing. Then I remember the attic. We never go up there. It's hot, cramped, full of holiday decorations and old furniture we can't bring ourselves to throw away. But it's also where Patricia stores things she doesn't want in the house. Out of sight, she always says. I'll deal with it later. I pull down the attic ladder, climb up. The air is thick, dusty, smells like cardboard and insulation. I pull the chain for the single bulb. Weak yellow light fills the space. Boxes everywhere. Christmas decorations, Mandy's old toys, my dad's tools that I inherited, Patricia's college textbooks, and there, in the far corner, under a layer of pink insulation, a shoebox. It's an old Nike box, the kind shoes came in 20 years ago. It's taped shut. Someone, Patricia, wrote on the lid in Sharpie, "High school memories." I pull the box out, sit down on the plywood floor, remove the tape carefully like I'm defusing a bomb. Inside, letters, dozens of them, maybe 100, folded notebook paper, some yellowed with age, some fresher, all in the same handwriting, neat, careful, masculine. I open one at random. Dear Patricia, I can't stop thinking about last night. The way you looked at me across the table, the way you laughed at my stupid joke. I know we have to be careful. I know Richard can't find out. But God, I love you. I've loved you since we were 16. And when we finally got married, married. I checked the date on the letter. July 2012. 11 years ago. I grab another letter. This one is older. The paper is more yellowed, the crease is deeper. Patricia, I miss waking up next to you. I miss being able to call you mine in public instead of just in hotel rooms and stolen weekends. But you're right. We have to wait. Richard is a good man. He doesn't deserve this. But neither do I, neither do we. Yours forever. Stephen dated April 2009. 3 years after Mandy was born, I open letter after letter. They span years. 2006, 2008, 2010, 2012, 2015, 2018, 2020. They never stop. The affair never ended. There are other things in the box. Hotel receipts, Nashville, Memphis, Chattanooga, Always weekend dates when Patricia told me she was at conferences or visiting friends. An ultrasound photo, edges curled, dated May 2006. Someone, Steven, has written on the back, "Our little miracle, S+P forever." There's a wedding band, a man's wedding band, engraved on the inside, P+L, always. And at the very bottom, a greeting card. Happy anniversary. On the front is a couple holding hands, silhouetted against the sunset. Inside, written in Steven's handwriting, 19 years. 19 years of loving you, even when I couldn't call you my wife in public. But you are. You're mine. Always have been, always will be. When Richard finally knows, we can stop hiding. We can finally be together the way we were meant to be. Forever yours. S, the date on the card, January 2025. 2 months ago. The last letter was dated 3 weeks ago. When Richard finally knows, we can be together. S. I sit on the attic floor for an hour, maybe more, reading and rereading, building a timeline in my head. They were together in high school. Before Patricia and I got serious, that part's true. But they never really broke up. When Patricia married me, Steven was already working in Nashville. They kept seeing each other. Weekend trips, conferences, girls' weekends. The pregnancy happened during one of those trips. Patricia didn't know who the father was. Maybe she genuinely hoped it was me. Maybe she just chose to believe it. Either way, she never told me. Steven stayed close, moved back to Pinewood 5 years ago, but really he'd been visiting all along. Uncle Steven, he watched Mandy grow up, gave her gifts, birthday checks, that $500 graduation present. He was paying child support, informal, hidden, but that's what it was. And Patricia let him, encouraged him, loved him. They have a wedding band, anniversary cards, 19 years of letters. This wasn't an affair. This was a second marriage, a hidden life. I was the other man in my own marriage. I take the box downstairs, set it on the kitchen table, spread out the evidence like a prosecutor preparing a case. Letters in chronological order, receipts, the ultrasound photo, the wedding band, the anniversary card. Then I photograph everything, every letter, every receipt, every piece of evidence. I upload the photos to a cloud storage account Tom helped me set up. Back up the backup. Print copies. Put originals in a safe deposit box at the bank. Not Steven's bank, a different one. I'm methodical, careful. Because Patricia was right about one thing. This is a small town, and in small towns, the person with the best evidence wins. Friday morning, I go to the bank. Not Steven's bank, the regional branch one town over. I meet with an accountant I know from church. Jerry Whitman, good man, discreet. I need you to look at something, I say. I show him copies of my business loan documents from the past 15 years. Tell me if anything looks off. Jerry spreads them out on his desk, adjusts his glasses, studies the paperwork. After 20 minutes, he sits back. Richard, who approved these loans? Stephen Graves. He's a loan officer at Pinewood Bank. And you know him personally? He's my wife's friend. Jerry looks at me over his glasses. He's known me for 15 years. He can read between the lines. These interest rates are below market value, Jerry says slowly. Significantly below. And the approval process, some of these loans should have required additional collateral, but they went through anyway. If I didn't know better, I'd say someone was doing you favors. What if I told you those weren't favors? What if I told you someone was buying access to something I didn't know they wanted? Jerry's quiet for a long moment. Then, I'd say you need a lawyer, and possibly the bank's auditing department needs to take a look at Mr. Graves' loan approval history. Can you make that happen? Officially, no, but I know people. I can make some calls. He pauses. Richard, are you sure you want to do this? Going after a bank employee for ethics violations? It's going to get messy. Public. It's already messy. I just want the truth documented. Jerry nods. Give me a week. I shake his hand. Walk out to my truck. Sit in the parking lot. My hardware store. The business I thought I built through hard work and smart decisions and luck. Every expansion, every new tool rack, every lucky break with loan approvals. Stephen Graves funded it all. He wasn't helping me. He was investing in Patricia, making sure she had a comfortable life while I played the role of husband, thinking I was building something that mattered. My hardware store, the business I thought I built, was funded by the man sleeping with my wife. Patricia comes to the store Saturday afternoon. She looks terrible, eyes red, no makeup, hair pulled back in a messy bun. She's been crying. "Can we talk?" she asks. We're alone. I closed early again, sent my part-time employee home. The store feels too big, too empty. "Say what you need to say." She wrings her hands. "I told Mandy, this morning, about everything." My stomach drops. "You told her what?" "The truth, about Stephen, about the DNA test. I showed her your test results." She's crying now. She's devastated, Richard, completely devastated. "Is she home?" "She's at Stephen's apartment." The words are like a slap. "She's where?" She needed to talk to him, to understand. She's confused and angry and... "You sent our daughter to your lover's apartment." "He's her father, Richard." The store goes silent. Patricia realizes what she said, covers her mouth, but it's too late. The words are out. "You're right," I say quietly. "He is her biological father. I'm just the man who raised her, the man who paid for everything, the man who loved her. But biology is what matters, right? That's what you're telling her?" "That's not what I meant. Get out. Richard, please, get out of my store." My voice echoes off the metal shelving. Patricia flinches, then she turns and runs out, the bell above the door clanging violently. I stand there shaking. The fluorescent lights hum. A customer left a coffee cup on the counter this morning. It's still there, cold, scum forming on top. I pick up my phone, text Mandy. "Can we talk?" The reply comes 5 minutes later. "Not now." "Mandy, please, let me explain." Mom explained everything. "How could you do this to us? Us. Not to me, to us." She's already chosen sides. I try calling. It goes to voicemail. I call again. Voicemail again. She declines the call. I text. "I love you. Please just hear my side." The reply, "I need space. Space. My daughter needs space from me because I discovered the truth." Sunday, I try to go to church. I've gone to Pinewood First Baptist for 20 years. I'm on the building committee. I taught Sunday school for 12 years. I built the handicap ramp at the entrance with my own hands. But when I walk in, people look away. Conversations stop. Someone, Mrs. Patterson, one of Patricia's friends, actually turns her back to me. I sit in my usual pew. Tom and his family slide in next to me. "Ignore them," Tom whispers. Pastor Mike gives his sermon, something about forgiveness and grace. He doesn't look at me once. After service, I'm heading to my truck when Pastor Mike stops me. "Richard, can I speak with you?" We step aside. He has that look pastors get when they're about to deliver bad news gently. "Some of the congregation have expressed concerns," he says, "about your presence here while you and Patricia are going through this difficult time." Concerns. They feel it might be better if you took some time away. Let things settle, just for a few weeks. I stare at him. "Are you asking me not to come to church?" "I'm suggesting that it might be wise. I built the ramp mic. I taught Sunday school for 12 years. I've tithed faithfully for 2 decades. And you're telling me I'm not welcome because my wife cheated on me?" "That's not what I'm saying." "Yes, it is." I take a step back. "Don't worry, I won't come back. Wouldn't want to make anyone uncomfortable." I walk to my truck. Tom follows. "Richard, wait. I'm fine." "You're not fine. Come to my house. We'll have lunch. Talk." I just want to be alone. I drive home. The house is empty. Patricia must be at a friend's. I go to the garage, sit in my truck with the door closed, and for the first time since this started, I let myself cry. Not angry crying, not frustrated crying, just loss. Deep, hollow loss. I'm losing my daughter, my wife, my church, my community. Everything I built my life around. And the worst part? I didn't do anything wrong. I just discovered the truth. The pastor asked me to skip Sunday service until things settled, in my own church. Monday morning, my phone rings. Unknown number. "Mr. Cooper, this is Melissa Graves." I freeze. Stephen's niece. The DNA match that started everything. "How did you get my number?" "I'm really sorry to bother you, but I saw the ancestry match with Mandy, and then I saw some posts on Facebook, and I think..." I think I understand what happened, and I'm so sorry. She sounds young, scared. Why are you calling me? Because you need to know something. My Uncle Stephen, he's not a good person. He's done this before. Done what before? Had affairs with married women. My dad, Stephen's brother, he's tried to help him, get him therapy. But Stephen doesn't stop. She takes a shaky breath. He had an affair with my mom, my dad's wife. That's why my parents almost divorced 5 years ago. I sit down. Your uncle had an affair with your mother, his brother's wife. Yes, it lasted 2 years before my dad found out. They almost split up. My mom ended it, went to therapy, and they stayed together. But Stephen, he just moved on, found someone else. Patricia, I'm guessing, I don't know details, but when I saw that Mandy matched with me as a first cousin, and then I saw her Facebook saying her parents were separating, and I remembered how Uncle Stephen was always talking about his friend in Pinewood, I put it together. Why are you telling me this? Because everyone's going to believe Stephen's version. He's charming. He makes people think he's the victim, and I don't want Mandy to think. She pauses. My mom almost destroyed her life for him. Don't let your daughter do the same. After we hang up, I sit in my truck for a long time. Then I drive to Mandy's ice cream shop. She's working the counter. When she sees me walk in, her face hardens. I'm working. Mandy, please, 5 minutes. I don't have 5 minutes. Then I'll wait. I sit at a corner table. Order nothing. Just wait. Other customers come and go. Mandy serves them, avoiding my eyes. An hour passes, then another. Finally, her shift ends. She can't avoid me anymore. We sit in my truck in the parking lot. She stares out the window, arms crossed. Mandy? You're toxic, Dad. The word hits like ice water. What? That's what this is? Toxic masculinity? You can't handle that Mom had a life outside you, that she loves someone else. So you're weaponizing DNA tests and trying to destroy her career and her reputation and... Mandy, stop. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. You found out Mom wasn't perfect and you couldn't handle it. So now you're making everyone suffer. She lied to me for 19 years. She lied to you. She protected me. She gave me a stable childhood with a father who loved me. And yeah, maybe you're not my biological dad, but so what? You raised me. That should be enough. It is enough. It's everything. But your mother? Don't talk about my mother. Mandy's crying now, angry tears. She's the one who's been honest with me. She told me everything, about you demanding paternity tests, about you going through her stuff, about you trying to get Stephen fired. Is that what she told you? It's the truth. Mandy, your mother has been having an affair with Stephen since before you were born. She never stopped. I found letters, hundreds of them. They have a wedding ring, anniversary cards. This wasn't one mistake. This was a 19-year lie. Mandy shakes her head. You're making things up. You're so desperate to be right that you're inventing... I have proof, photos, documents. I can show you. I don't want to see your proof. She opens the truck door. You know what? You're not my dad anymore. You're just the man who destroyed everything. Stay away from me. She slams the door, walks across the parking lot, gets into Stephen's car. He's been waiting for her. They drive away. I sit there for an hour, staring at her empty coffee cup on my dashboard. She left it there during our drive this morning, before everything, back when I was still dad. What would you do if your child chose the person who lied over the person who told the truth? Comment your answer. There's no right one. She left her coffee, walked out. I sat there for an hour staring at her cup. Jerry calls me Wednesday morning. The bank wants to talk to you. I'm at the store, unpacking a shipment of paint supplies. My hands stop moving. What does that mean? It means their internal audit team found some irregularities in Stephen Graves' loan approval history. Not just yours, several clients. They want your documentation, your loan files, anything you have. When? Tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Bring everything. I spend the rest of the day organizing files. Every loan application, every approval letter, every piece of correspondence with Stephen. I make copies of copies, put originals in my safe deposit box. Take copies to Tom's house for backup. Tom helps me organize everything into a binder, chronological order, tabs for each loan, post-it notes flagging the irregularities Jerry identified. This is solid, Tom says. Richard, they're gonna hang him. Good. You sure you want to do this? Once you hand this over, it's out of your control. It'll get public. Everyone will know. Everyone already knows. At least this way, they'll know the truth. Thursday at 2, I walk into Pinewood Bank's main office. Not the branch, the corporate office one town over. They take me to a conference room. Glass walls, long table, uncomfortable chairs. 3 people are waiting. A woman in her 50s who introduces herself as Linda Chen, head of internal audit. A younger man, Marcus Webb, legal counsel, and a notary. "Mr. Cooper, thank you for coming," Linda says. She has kind eyes but a steel edge to her voice. "We understand you have concerns about loan approvals made by Stephen Graves." I slide the binder across the table. 15 years of loans, below market interest rates, insufficient collateral requirements, expedited approvals that should have taken weeks but went through in days. Linda opens the binder, starts reading. Marcus leans over, reads with her. The room is silent except for the sound of pages turning. After 20 minutes, Linda closes the binder, looks at Marcus. They have a brief, wordless conversation. "Mr. Cooper," Linda says carefully, "can you tell us about your relationship with Mr. Graves?" "He was my wife's friend. Childhood friend, supposedly. He's also—" I take a breath. "He's my daughter's biological father. I found out 2 weeks ago." Linda's face doesn't change, but I see Marcus write something down. "And you believe Mr. Graves used his position at the bank to provide preferential treatment for your business loans?" "I know he did, but not to help me, to help my wife, to make sure she had a comfortable life while he—" I stop, steady myself. "While he maintained a relationship with her." "How long was this relationship?" 19 years, since before my daughter was born. More note-taking, more page-turning. "Mr. Cooper, we'll need to keep these files. We'll also need you to sign an affidavit documenting your testimony. Are you willing to do that?" "Yes." "You should know. This will trigger a formal investigation, not just of these loans, but of all of Mr. Graves' approvals over his tenure with our bank. It will become public. Mr. Graves will likely lose his position." "I understand. And you're still willing to proceed? He didn't just break your bank's ethics rules, he broke my family. So, yes, I'm willing." The notary pushes papers across the table. I sign, initial, date. When I leave, Linda walks me to the door. "For what it's worth, Mr. Cooper, I'm sorry this happened to you. And I'm sorry it took this long to catch." "How long has he been doing this?" She hesitates. "I can't discuss details, but you're not the first complaint we've received about Mr. Graves. You're just the first one with this much documentation. Stephen wasn't just Patricia's lover. He was her accomplice in defrauding the bank, and me." The news breaks Friday morning. Small-town newspaper runs the headline, "Local bank manager under investigation for ethics violations." The article is vague. Privacy laws, ongoing investigation, no comment from the bank. But Pinewood is small. People talk. By noon, everyone knows why Stephen Graves is under investigation. By evening, everyone knows about Patricia. My phone starts ringing. Tom calls first. "You okay?" "Yeah." "It's all over Facebook. Someone posted the newspaper article. Comments are getting ugly." I open Facebook. The post has 200 comments. I scroll through them. Always knew something was off about that guy. Wait, Patricia Cooper, the school counselor? No way Richard Cooper deserves better. I heard she's been cheating for years. What about their daughter? Poor Mandy. This is going to destroy her. I close Facebook. I don't need to read more. Saturday morning, Patricia calls. "Richard, please, we need to talk. I have nothing to say to you. The school board wants to meet with me Monday. There's a petition. Parents are demanding I be removed." "That's not my problem." "You did this. You went to the bank. You started this investigation. You're trying to destroy me." "No, Patricia. You destroyed yourself. I just documented it." She's crying. "I'm going to lose my job, my reputation, everything. Like I lost my daughter, my marriage, my church. Yeah, Patricia. That's what happens when you lie for 19 years. I never meant to hurt you. But you did, over and over, for 19 years. And you would have kept doing it if I hadn't found out." I hang up, block her number. The school board meeting is Monday evening. It's open to the public, small town rules. The elementary school cafeteria is packed, every seat filled, people standing along the walls. I don't plan to go, but Tom convinces me. "You need to be there," he says. "Let them see your face. Let them see you're not the villain." So I go. I sit in the back row. People stare, but no one approaches. Patricia sits at a table facing the school board. 5 members, the superintendent, a lawyer. Patricia's union representative is there too, whispering in her ear. The board chair, Dr. Margaret Williams, calls the meeting to order. We're here to address concerns about Ms. Patricia Cooper's continued employment as an elementary school counselor. A parent stands, Jennifer Morrison. Her daughter is in 3rd grade. My daughter trusted Ms. Cooper, told her things she wouldn't tell me, and now I find out Ms. Cooper's been lying to her own family for 19 years? How can she counsel children about honesty? Another parent stands. The school's code of conduct requires staff to model ethical behavior. This is the opposite of ethical behavior. Patricia's lawyer tries to argue. Ms. Cooper's personal life has no bearing on her professional competency. She counsels families about communication, someone shouts. About trust! How can she do that when she's been living a lie? The meeting devolves, people shouting, Patricia crying, the board calling for order. Finally, Dr. Williams holds up a hand. We've reviewed the petition, 317 signatures from parents and community members. The board has also reviewed Ms. Cooper's personnel file and considered the district's ethics policy. Silence. Ms. Cooper, your employment with Pinewood Elementary is terminated, effective immediately. Patricia's face goes white. Her lawyer stands objecting, citing contract terms. But the superintendent cuts him off. There's a morality clause in her contract. She violated it. The termination stands. Patricia stands on shaking legs, looks around the room, sees me in the back. Our eyes meet. I don't look away. She gathers her things, walks out, head down. The crowd parts to let her through. No one speaks. Outside, I hear a car door slam, an engine start, tires on gravel. Tom touches my shoulder. Let's go home. Not yet. I walk to the front of the cafeteria. Dr. Williams sees me approaching. Mr. Cooper, I want you to know, I didn't do this. The parents did. The community did. I just told the truth. She nods. For what it's worth, Richard, I'm sorry. Patricia was a good counselor for many years. But trust is everything in this job. Once it's broken, she trails off. I leave. In the parking lot, I see a group of parents talking. One of them, Marcus Henderson, Mrs. Henderson's son, sees me and walks over. Richard, I just want you to know, we're behind you. What Patricia did, it's not right, and we want you to know you're still welcome in this community. Others nod. Come over, shake my hand, offer words of support. It doesn't fix anything, but it helps. How can she counsel families while lying to her own? 300 signatures on that petition. The divorce proceedings start in June. I file first. Grounds, adultery, fraud. I'm contesting everything. The house, savings, retirement accounts. All of it acquired during a marriage built on lies. Patricia's lawyer argues I'm being vindictive. My lawyer, Sarah Chen, no relation to the bank auditor, sharp as a knife, presents the shoebox letters, the hotel receipts, the wedding band engraved P+S always, the anniversary card from 2 months ago. The judge, Honorable Robert Martinez, reads everything, all 37 pages of the paternity test, dozens of letters, years of receipts. The courtroom is small, just lawyers, judge, court reporter. Patricia sits at her table, staring at her hands. I sit at mine, watching the judge read my life. After an hour, Judge Martinez sets down the last letter, removes his glasses, rubs his eyes. I've been on the bench for 23 years, he says. I've seen affairs. I've seen financial fraud. I've seen custody battles that would make you sick. He looks at Patricia. But I have never seen anything quite like this. Patricia's lawyer starts to speak. Judge Martinez holds up a hand. Let me finish. Mrs. Cooper, what you did to Mr. Cooper isn't just adultery. It's not just lying. It's... He pauses, chooses his words carefully. It's life fraud. For 19 years, you allowed this man to believe he was living one life while you lived another. You took his love, his labor, his devotion, and you built a fiction around it. Patricia is crying silently. Mr. Cooper, the judge looks at me. I'm granting your petition for divorce, all terms you've requested. Mrs. Cooper will receive nothing from the marital estate. Furthermore, I'm ordering that all documented evidence be sealed to protect the minor child. though I note she's now 18 and no longer a minor in the eyes of the law. He signs the order, hands it to the clerk. This court is adjourned. Patricia's lawyer helps her stand. She walks out without looking at me. The door closes behind her. Sarah touches my arm. You won. Yeah, I say. But it doesn't feel like winning. It feels like standing in the ruins of something that used to be beautiful. Stephen's consequences come slower, but they come. The bank investigation takes 3 months. In July, the results are released internally. I'm not supposed to know, but Jerry has friends who have friends. Stephen Graves approved 47 questionable loans over his 12-year tenure with the bank. Total value, $4.2 million. Pattern of favoritism toward family members, friends, and, according to investigators, romantic partners of interest. He's not just fired. He's banned from the banking industry. His professional license is revoked. The bank's legal team is considering whether to pursue criminal charges. His wife, I didn't even know he was married, files for divorce, cites adultery. The filing becomes public record. Local newspaper runs another story. Former bank manager's wife files for divorce amid scandal. Stephen leaves town in August, moves back to Nashville, supposedly. I hear through the grapevine he's working construction now. Framing houses, manual labor, 43 years old, starting over. Good. Patricia finds a job 2 towns over, reception work at a dentist's office. She sold the house, my house, the one I paid for, and moved into an apartment. I heard she's seeing a therapist, trying to rebuild. I don't care. She's not my problem anymore. But Mandy is. Mandy doesn't speak to me for 6 months. I try calling, texting. She blocks my number. I send letters. She returns them unopened. I show up at her dorm at State University. She threatens to call campus security. So, I stop trying. I give her space. I let her be angry, and I focus on rebuilding my own life. I sell the hardware store in September, get a fair price. More than fair, actually. Turns out people respect a man who tells the truth, even when it costs him everything. I buy a small house on the other side of town. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1/4-acre lot. It's quiet, private, mine. I start going to a different church, different town. No one knows me there. No one asks questions. I sit in the back, listen to the sermons, and try to figure out who I am now. Tom and his family have me over for dinner every Sunday. You're not alone, Tom says. You've got us. It helps. Not enough, but it helps. In November, I start dating someone. Her name is Rebecca. She's a teacher at the high school, divorced, 2 kids of her own. We meet at a community fundraiser. She has kind eyes and doesn't ask too many questions. We take it slow. Coffee dates, walks in the park. She tells me about her ex-husband, about raising kids alone. I tell her about Patricia, about Mandy, about everything. You deserve better than what happened to you, Rebecca says one evening. We're sitting on my porch, watching the sunset. You deserve someone who sees you. So do you. She smiles, takes my hand. It's not love, not yet, but it's something real. Christmas comes and goes. I spend it with Tom's family, open presents, eat too much, pretend everything's fine. On Christmas night, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. Merry Christmas, Dad. I stare at the message. Read it 5 times. My hands are shaking. Merry Christmas, Mandy. I love you. No response. But 3 days later, another text. Can we talk? Anytime. Anywhere. Coffee, Thursday, yes. Thursday afternoon, I wait at the coffee shop downtown. Our coffee shop. The place we used to go every Saturday morning when she was in high school. Daddy-daughter coffee dates, she called them. I order my usual, black coffee, no sugar. Sit at our usual table by the window. Mandy walks in 15 minutes late. She looks different, older. Her hair is shorter. She's wearing a university sweatshirt. She's not smiling. She orders, caramel latte, extra whip, and sits down across from me. We're silent for a long minute. She stirs her coffee. I wait. I talked to Melissa Graves, she finally says. Stephen's niece. Oh, she told me about her mom, about Stephen's affair with her, about how he does this. Over and over. Mandy, let me finish. She takes a shaky breath. I also found some of the letters. Mom kept copies. I saw the dates. I did the math. Tears start falling. I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry. I reach across the table, take her hand. She doesn't pull away. I called you toxic, she whispers. I said you weren't my dad. I chose Mom and Steven, and I was so wrong, and I don't know how to fix it. You don't have to fix it. You just have to be here now. She cries harder. I'm sorry for everything. I know, baby, I know. We sit there for an hour, talking, crying, beginning to heal. She doesn't move back in. She doesn't pretend the past 6 months didn't happen, but she's here. She's trying, and that's enough. Mandy texted, "Can we talk?" 2 words. 19 months of silence. Broken. 6 months later, April now, spring returning, I'm unpacking boxes in my new house. The last of them. I've been putting it off, these final boxes from the old garage. Things I couldn't look at before. I open one labeled Mandy School Projects. Inside, art from elementary school, spelling tests with gold stars, a clay handprint from kindergarten, and at the bottom, rolled up and rubber banded, a crayon drawing on construction paper. I unroll it carefully. The paper is yellowed, edges worn soft. 2 stick figures holding hands. One tall, one small. A bright yellow sun with a smile. Crooked letters across the top. Me and Daddy. She was 6 when she drew this. 1st grade. She brought it home on a Friday, so proud, waving it in the air. Look, Daddy, it's us. I hung it on the refrigerator for a year. Then it got packed away when we redecorated, forgotten in boxes and moves in life. I traced the stick figures with my finger. She drew my figure taller than hers, drew our hands connected, drew that sun because I was teaching her that every picture needs light. You made me feel safe, I say to the empty room. That was real. I take the drawing to the framing shop on Monday. Pick a simple black frame, acid-free matting. The woman behind the counter asks if it's for a grandchild. My daughter, I say. She drew it when she was 6. She's talented. Look at that sun. So happy. Yeah, she was happy then. When I pick it up the next week, it looks different. Official, preserved, like something that matters. I hang it in my living room, above the couch. First thing you see when you walk in. Mandy comes over the following Sunday for dinner. Rebecca's there too. Mandy and she are starting to get to know each other. We're grilling burgers. Tom and his family are coming. Mandy sees the drawing and stops, just stops walking and stares. Is that 1st grade? You drew it for me. She walks closer, touches the frame. I remember this. I remember you hung it on the fridge for a whole year. Why'd you frame it now? I put my arm around her shoulders. She leans into me. First time in a year she's done that. Because it reminds me of something true, I say. DNA doesn't erase 18 years. It doesn't erase bedtime stories and soccer games and teaching you to ride a bike. It doesn't erase that I loved you then, and I love you now. She's crying. Happy tears this time. I love you too, Dad. Dad, not Richard. Dad. Tom and his family arrive. Rebecca sets the table. We eat burgers and potato salad on the back deck. We laugh, tell stories, plan a camping trip for next month. After everyone leaves, I stand in the living room, looking at the drawing, at those stick figures holding hands. The yellow crayon sun is faded now. The D in Daddy is backwards. She was 6, still learning to write. She drew my stick figure taller than hers, holding her hand. She felt safe with me. That was real. I've learned something through all this. Family isn't always the people who share your DNA. It's the people who show up, who stay, who tell you hard truths because they love you. I think about Patricia sometimes. Wonder if she regrets it. Wonder if Steven was worth 19 years of lies. But mostly, I don't think about her at all. I think about Mandy, about Rebecca, about Tom and his family, about the community that stood by me when the truth came out, about the coffee shop on Thursday mornings and the camping trip we're planning and the life I'm building from the ruins. The drawing hangs on my wall, a reminder that love existed, that memories are real even when foundations crack, that I was her father then, and I'm her father now, and DNA is just data. Real family is who shows up. If you found that, you're found family, your tribe, the people who stayed when everything fell apart. I'd really like to hear about it. Drop your story below. Those bonds matter. Sometimes they matter most.